Yo, what's good, legends? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today, a lot of requests have been coming in for me to start something from scratch again. You know, make a rave room track from scratch, make a big room track from scratch, whatever. That's easy, guys. Like, I do this in my sleep. Like, while I'm dreaming, I'm making full big room tracks like it's nothing. That's not a challenge. So what I thought would be a good thing to do is to try and make something that I can play in my sets. I think we'll just do the build up and the drop. I don't think we need to do the breakdown necessarily, but we'll see how we go. The challenge, as you can see from the description, from the title of this video, is we're going to try and make something with sounds only coming from KSHMR Volume 4. Why KSHMR Volume 4 is because this thing has absolutely everything you can ever need. And I know 99% of you have this pack and have these sounds. So everything I do today, you should be able to emulate pretty easily. If you don't have this pack, you have Splice. You can just go on and search for the samples that I used today, because no doubt it's going to be a banger, right? And you're going to want to try and remake it. So what we're going to do is start with a kick. Now, I don't want to do big room. I want to try something a little bit more techie or a little bit more like rave. So we can try and keep within my sound. Unfortunately, KSHMR doesn't have many like rave samples as such, like old school ravey stuff. But we're gonna try and make use of all the 6 samples that it does have. We're gonna start with what we want is a big bass kick. Like, these are all super big room. This is not really what I'm looking for. I don't know if he has any techno ones though. We have a winner. There's the drop right there. So we have a kick drum, which I really love. We're gonna mess with it a little bit, but what we're gonna do first is just get the structure down and try and get like a rough drop idea. This is how I make every single drop in every single one of my tracks. So now we're gonna start with, you know, I'm gonna rename it because I'm fancy like that, and I want to make this as easy as possible for use. So drop lead. Pure form there. We're gonna have the drop lead in here. Now, with KSHMR, it does have a lot of high quality drop sounds. Let's see what we can find in here. Synth shots. Bang. This one reminds me of the new Will Sparks song. This one's a great sound. Let's just try and get like a rhythm in here. Perfect. See how this sounds. Apologies if that's a little bit loud. I see it clipping just a bit there. So this kick drum, I think is perfect. We're not going to have to do too much there. In terms of the drop, this works if you've ever heard my sets. Like, I do play a lot of tracks like this, quite minimal drops. But we're going to try and add like a bass shot in there. So, boom, 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 like this. So we're going to just draw this. So we're just moving the note slightly so it's not completely on the grid, because I want to have a slight bit of swing here, and I just make the swing manually. Just then I have as much control over it as possible. I think that's a bit too swingy. So we've got something like this. Boom, boom. So with samples, when you want to have the most control over them, what you do is remove the attack like this, increase the hold, bring down the decay, sustain, and now we can make a note long and the sample will play long as it can be. When you have short notes, the notes play short. See how it kind of shuts there? It's really important for the groove. So we're going to see how that sounds as well. I don't want to hear the lead though. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. I think it can work. Try a different bass shot though. Okay, so I like this one a lot. Try and get something with a bit of tone in it as well, just to make sure we can make it as close to the key as possible. This one says atonal, but to me it has a tone. Okay, so let's start processing the bass shots. I think we can do them. Now let's process them separately. So this is bass shot. I'm not even gonna try and do it with caps on and off. Bass shot 1. So that's number 5. We're gonna do bass shot 2 on number 6. Bass shot 2. And then we're going to have like a bus channel, so we can process them both at once. So we're going to link it into 7, route to this channel only, and route to this track only. And this is going to be the bass bus. So now we can put stuff on here which affects both, but we can EQ each of these shots different. Because like one shot might have a little bit more transient, then you don't want to put transient master the same settings on 2 different bass shots. If one's got a really good attack, one's got a really weak attack, one is just going to sound too attacky, the other one's just going to sound perfect, right? So that's the thought behind it. So this one's nice. This one has a really nice like vinyl noise to it, like a crunch. And now it's about trying to get the kick and this bass shot to fit perfectly together. So what I'm trying to do here is remove as much low end as I need to, but if I can get away with keeping a bit more low end in, that's what I'm gonna do. So I listen and listen, and when I hear that point where it's distorting, then I'm gonna pull it back a bit, you know. We're gonna definitely need to mess this up a little bit, so we're gonna use a camel crusher because it's quick and easy and perfect. Also going to do a little bit of blood overdrive, I think, on this sound. Sound really, really thick. I'm not going to go crazy with the sound design, the processing element, because I don't want to use stuff that you guys can't use also. I think a lot of you guys have camel crusher and some kind of overdrive in whatever DAW you use. Isotope Trash is another really cheap one. I think it's like $20 or something. So I think a lot of you also have this one. Already sounding really, really full. Now, with this sound, we can have a little bit of a transient shaper, transient processor from FL Studio, just in case you don't have transient master. See how this one sounds. Actually, what I'm going to do here, I made a big mistake. What I'm going to do is put the camel crusher and also the blood overdrive on the bus channel, because I want to use the same settings on both, so that just saves me a bit of time. We'll delete it so that we don't have a doubled up camel crusher and overdrive. We can use the EQ as well. No, that's not what we want to do. Poor form from me today, guys. Apologies about that. Just delete this, and we're just going to EQ this a little bit different. This one seems to have more sub in it. Let's process the first shot as well in the mid range. See which frequencies we can bring out here and kind of accentuate. Can we shorten this kick? Now with the kick drum, just going to rename it on the top here. We're going to boost the low end, and I think we might use a little bit of a transient processor on there to try and get the click as punchy as possible. This sounded nice. I think, again, we've took a little bit too much low end away from one of these sounds. Pretty nice. Now let's see how the lead fits into this. The lead is not processed anywhere near enough, but we just want to see how it fits in the mix. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think this is something that you can definitely drop in the club. We're going to call this lead, and we're going to start processing the lead now. With the lead, we're going to do something a little bit similar. So we're going to do that Camel Crusher business like this. We're also going to use Blood Overdrive. Now, the important thing here is going to be the reverb. Apologies to you guys that don't have Arts Acoustic Reverb, but that is what I'm going to use. My baby, I just can't use anything else, to be honest. Nothing ever feels the same. So with this sound, I think the low cut's been done pretty perfectly. There's not really much low end in this sound. There's good body, but not a crazy amount of low end, so I don't think we need to remove too much. See how it sounds with it being louder. So we're also going to make the kick as mono as we can without just losing its character. See how when I made it completely mono, completely down the middle, we kind of lost that character there. It's got that like nice gritty sides to it. So we want to make it as mono as possible so it fits better in the mix, but also keep that character there. With the leads. Now, the thing that's missing here is the reverb. We're going to put some reverb on now. Maybe a bit of delay, but we'll see. I'm going to use my secret sauce here. We are going to try. Sorry about that. We are going to try a delay here. So I'm just going to go for the basic stereo. Bring the dry wet down. Bring the feedback down. Also bring the low pass here. Just see how this sounds. Now this sound should feel a lot wider. Sidechain wise, we're going to have a sidechain which is super loose. We don't want to make this too bouncy or you're going to lose that power. I'm going to have another note in here as well, because with something like this it gets very repetitive, so you do have to mix it up at certain points. So we're just going to add an extra note. Now we can maybe go up to the F here. Kind of like that sound when it goes down there. Let's try and mix the bass shot a little bit better as well. I don't like to play them both at once. I feel that I like to get each thing fixed and then play them both together, because when they're processed and really made to fit in the mix properly, that's when you get the real feeling of like how this is going to be in a club. Playing them both together when they're just unmixed and stuff can make you think, this sound sucks, go get something else, when actually in reality it just wasn't made to fit properly yet. So let's check the sidechain. We haven't added a sidechain, but we're going to add something quite loose. Now the kick should fit nicely here. With this sound, because it's not acting as like we're not getting any low end from this, we're going to add some reverb just to help it fit within the mix a bit better, a bit more techy as well. That sound does not sound great there. You know, you win some, you lose some. It's all about trying stuff. Now, in the second part, we're going to introduce some drums. We're going to look for some fancy stuff. See what this bass effects is. Great fill, that. Really, really great fill. Now, we're going to maybe cut that then, add like a snare. Something like that. Maybe a clap, which is really heavily reverbed. Because it is like a techie drop, old school techie drop anyway. Maybe we can add another sound here. I'm just thinking, like, I haven't really jumped too deep into the bass shots. Maybe like a slap house sound would work. That one's sick. Really, really sick. This is actually pretty sick. Like, it's interesting, little bit techno, little bit just straight up weird, but I kind of like that. Let's have a look. Do we want to go hats and claps? Let's see if we can find a nice tight clap, maybe. Or something weird, maybe. Quite like how dull this sound is. It's quite hard. Let's see how this works. Okay, let's see how it works with the hats. The hats is the next most important thing. The hats are going to be really good for the groove here. So let's look at cymbals. Closed hats. Maybe an open hat. Not sure about this one specifically, but we'll give it a try. Let's just go through these sounds now and just see which one fits the best. Now on this clap, we're going to want to brighten it a little bit, so we're going to add an OTT. If I'm not too blind to see it, there it is. Let's see if we can just brighten the clap, because the hats are very bright. Clap's quite dull right now. See if I can reverse this kick. See how that sounds. I like the reverse kick there. Maybe we don't have the bass shots either. Same with the lead. We're just going to cut it out there, I think. Actually, no, we'll keep it in, see how it sounds. We're going to make a little bit of a build-up as well. Just going to add the lead in here because we know we're going to filter that up and kind of tease it. So drum-wise, I think we can use a few more drum loops. Now I know in KSHMR Volume 4 it does have a lot of drum loops here. Let's see, by genre. So we're looking for something like housey, I guess. This is great for the energy. Let's just stretch that from 128 BPM and see how it fits in the mix. Might be a little bit too hectic. Okay, works. Let's see how this clap fits. I like it as a fill. I definitely like it as a fill, but I don't think we need it in the drop. What else can we have? We can have this fill as the pre-drop as well, so that we have a little bit of like exhaust action in the drop there. It's just going to make the energy feel bigger. Also going to try and saturate it a little bit. Sometimes I'll experiment and put the isotope trash saturation after the reverb, just to give, you see how it kind of sucks the reverb a bit? Now what we're going to do with the lead here is just pitch it up a bit, just to give it a little bit more movement there. So let's pitch that one upwards, like this. Not a big fan of that. That'll do. Got a little bit of pitch movement there. What we're going to do is have a filter as well. So let's find a filter. Everybody has this in their DAW, so easy. See if we've got any cool vocals here. Hey. Okay, this is cheesy, but yeah. Let's also try and get a fill in there as well. There's no real ravey fills here, but this is just what we've got to work with. Get a little bit more high end out of this sound. nice toms. This could be cool. Get a little bit of EDM vibe in there as well. It's going to work so good straight after this. Let's see. Good groove now. I don't know what this is becoming, but you know, it's something that I would probably play. It's one of those drops where people are like, oh yeah, damn. As long as the sound design's good, you can get a little bit weird. You know, Will Sparks, for example, like his sound design's really, really strong. He can do whatever he wants in those drops. As long as the mix is right as well, it's gonna bang. So this is what we have so far. I'm trying to think of other stuff we can add in here. I mean, we'll probably need a sweep riser. Oh, this is weird. This could work. Extremely strange, but sometimes strange is good. I'm curious to see what you guys think about the drop. Just trying to fit one more sound in there. It's quite heavy, this one.